Hey man, I'm on probation, right? I gotta go over here to the Lord's Gym, sign up for community service, and do God's work. I guess I gotta pay for something, right? Nigga end up with bumps and shit all on his forehead today. Saw them impurities being pushed out of the body. I was listening to Dick Gregory. He said, you know what I mean? The baby suckling on one of mom's teats, or one of her breasts. Let's say that because cows and dogs and shit got teats as they supposed to be called. But anyway, Dick Gregory, he talking, you know what I mean, like he always do, and he basically say something like, the stuff that come out of mom tit or her, the breast the baby not sucking on, all the impurities, nicotine, alcohol, all the different kind of poisons start leaking out of the other breast, the one the baby not sucking on to take the sustenance from. And I'm kind of glad I let him guide me through this because, or her, or it, whatever it may be called, in all of its magnificence and glory. Um, and I don't talk like this because of my mind being manipulated over time. I talk like this because for me to understand, for me to think that I can understand God and all His splendors, and I don't treat myself as if I am majesty of God in all manners, in all ways, at all times, it's completely stupid for me to think that I understand that when, first and foremost, I don't treat me. So when we ain't treating these children and giving them the world they supposed to grow up in, that even says, you know what I mean, let's start off at zero because zero is still a number. That's zero right there. That's ground zero. Them children. So anyway, that's why I refer to God the way I do. I refuse to let another man build an image of God for me, which would be a deity or a, what do they call them, an idol. Instead of letting my relationship build, dictate, confine, and define what God is. So anyway, as I said, if the baby is sucking on the left breast, then all the impurities leak out of the right side of the breast. And I'm just walking around appreciating the rain that dropped on the ground this morning. You know what I mean? See if I can go over here and show it. Little dog park. But it's built like a fish bowl. And I had a cousin once tell me, like, they call Sacramento area like the fish bowl. Like if it flood, it's all coming in here. If the camera doing any good of a job, you can see the ducks over there swimming. Let me see here. If you look over there, you might be able to spot out two benches that's almost like fully submerged. You can't even see the seat. You can only see the top of the back of it. And I'm like looking like, yep, the ducks got a pine today. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here watching all the wild turkeys walk every morning and come out early and try to handle their business. And that's a cut in half worm and he's still struggling. Look like he's trying to grow another body. Like he's trying to stretch his shit out. So anyway, all because he in a stream of water, right? Look at that though. All because he in a stream of water. The very element of life itself. But don't forget fire, because they play a very special role in this thing that we got. All because he in water. It's life flowing where he at. With all the impurities and oil and everything else that we throw on the ground, nicotine and everything else, right? That water is what's keeping him alive, or else he would have dried up and died by now. Wonder what would happen if he can get back in that soil and become of the earth again. Like, would he thrive even more? Because he gonna still be able to burrow, I suspect. You don't have to do nothing but coil through soft soil, and then bam. I used to think they ate the dirt. Maybe they do. Seems like I remember some science from school. They said that's basically what they do. Excuse me, y'all. Thinking the camera was the other way. I apologize. But anyway, yeah, though, you know, as the ground softens up, the worms have no choice. It's innate. It's built into them. They burrow up. As it becomes dry, they burrow down. But that's what they seek, is that water, that substance, that life. And so, as they come up, the birds is fed. But the birds got berries on trees, flies, spiders. You know what I mean? But it's something about that delicacy of a worm that we all know a bird is about that life. So when you look at multiple rappers, and just, if you live in the hood, you know what I mean? You come to know what the D-boy lifestyle is about. You up early in the morning so you can catch that worm. And really, if you up early in the morning, the worm keep coming all day. You know what I mean? It's funny how much sleep we sacrifice just to get that dollar. The 9 to 5 working ass man, because you only get 8 hours to go work 8 hours. And then you probably traveling an hour or two. So really, you feel me? You sleeping 8 hours to give up 10. Then you probably driving back 2, if not 3, if not 4. So you're really giving up 14. 12 to 14. So what do you really have in a day? 4 hours to spend with your family? At least the D-boy getting food cooked by his girl. Kids having lunch. He going in the house, probably sitting down having lunch with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, but he's sacrificing a whole lot of time out there for that dollar too, though. As a people, we need to start coming together and realizing, man, it's a bond between us all. If you are in and of that body in which they speak, the power is in the people. It's be like dealing with police, man. I put it this way. You niggas have seen me on Facebook Live, right? All this other shit. Anxiety. Motherfuckers trying to kill me, even if they is, man. It's to the point where it's just like, fuck, man. What I'm going to do? I'm going to keep running from death when we all headed there anyway? Same shit with this police and this court shit. I could have went to jail 2 years ago for a year at the most. And maybe even got out on good behavior if that motherfucker was too packed and just trusted in God. Whatever I needed, whether it be a year, whether it be 6 months, whether it be 4. I would have did that and I would have got the hell out of jail. But instead, I wanted to take a deal where basically they keeping me enslaved or in jail, even though I'm not behind prison bars, for the next 3 years. See, this is how dumb they make us with our own time. Once again, you get up and go work for 8 hours. If you're lucky, you ain't got to drive 2 to 4 hours in traffic there and back in total. So what do you end up with? 8 hours to sleep? That's 16 hours of your day gone. So what? Now you got 8 hours to give to your significant other, your children, yourself? You don't even have that. And then as much time as we base upon vacation time, right? Every job should pay for your vacation, as much money as you make them. These are the laws we should have set place in America to keep each other held up to a standard. But yet we don't do this. We fall into the category of just being the norm. And then get this, when some of these companies have stock, stake, and claim in these travel agencies, why are they not paying for your trips around the world? You might go somewhere and be like, dude, I could live here. And they might need an employee over there. And I'm talking about this because I do security, and Securitas is such a big company. This is the power of unions. Whether we talking about marriage as a union, we talking about the union of man, woman, and child, man and child, woman and child, the union of a human sitting behind, or a person, or a being, whatever, right? Sitting behind, or a man for that matter, which is what I consider myself, sitting behind the wheel of a car or a vessel, or the soul or the spirit, union. So when you have unions at work, you have unions of men and women in droves coming together. And really, this is where we should start putting politics, the righteousness of politics, back into the motherfucking world, right? If we set these unions in place for almost every job we're going to have out there, right? And we become a governing body of voters with the CEOs and all that other type of stuff sitting at the top. But with the mindset that everybody has to listen. So when the CEO says it's not financially possible, meaning the company might go under for something like that. Okay, well, let's find a way to make it profitable for the company and beneficial for the employees. Then you get employees stock. It's time for you 1%ers and you decimal points, for you unknown, for you missing nodes out there. Because I know it's a couple of squares that remember the first Pokemon game on Game Boy, that's of the billionaires, millionaires, you know, zillionaires, trillionaires, you know what I mean, 1%ers, decimal pointers out there who understand what I'm talking. I know it's some geeks. Those are my people. And this is why people from different walks of life to me that I don't explain, right? When nothing happens for no reason, right? So even when people got things in their head to make them misfire, and they do things that you may not understand, that makes you call them a freak, right? That is the large family I am from, the freaks and the geeks. Those that would be considered outcasts. That's who I choose to feel comfortable and home with. If they didn't have to feel so alone all the time and had somebody to talk about their problems with, half of these people wouldn't be doing the stuff that you see as sick and twisted. So just how wrong are we as people for judging their ass, but never being like, hey, how many more of you exist? Is there anything we can do to help? So we don't have to go down this road, so I know my child is safe? But yeah, though, that's how you put the politics back into the world in the right vein. See, it all starts with us, the working man, the people. And the beautiful part about it is, right, we all come from humble beginnings, every last one of us. Most of us, when we was children, until we had a breaking point and us being a child, very few of us are just born to be of pure chaos and havoc. Something happened to us that turns us that way, usually. This is why even if you're doing something sinister and it truly gives you a jolly and you laugh about it, laughter is the same kind of medicine for you that it is for the next person. For those of you that seen the movie Grumpy Old Men, that's how I envision my elderly life if I get to live that long and I'm blessed by God. Talking a bunch of shit with no feelings, with people that I know would never be coming to me, speaking on me with harm, with ill intent. But yet still, somebody that if you do me wrong, I can fight with your ass. We can put them hands up like men, and then we can go on about our business. Like, is a fight worth a friendship all the damn time, man? You beat up or you get beat up, whichever way it go, and then you realize a couple of months later, like, damn, that nigga ain't been around. Like, I got partners who I can look at right now and be like, damn, bro, I missed that nigga laugh, bro. The jokes we used to share, you know what I mean? To be honest, the nigga probably gay. But it don't, like, you know what I'm saying? You niggas is caught up in these archetypes of this social norm should be with this social class, and so on and vice versa. Nah, I don't know why the fuck I needed to say all that extra shit. That was just something to make me sound smart. Oh shit. Like, see, that's the dude I like being. Pointing the shit out when I do shit like that, man. Cause I talk so much like I'm just better than other people. Or it can come out and across that way. But that's not my intention, right? And all the blood that flow in my veins, you know what I mean? I don't need to spill it and do blood over intent. Like, literally, if it wasn't no kids, I probably would be like, fuck it, spill my blood. It ain't gonna do nothing for you. And so, if you watch this video and you listen to it a few times, all I'm trying to do is wrap all this shit up, man. We all wrapped up in this living. To live is an evil thing. Somebody just sent me a message and told me, man, I was like, you living now? So what, I was dead and where I wanted to be before? Because this is where I tried to get to. If this can be compared to hell, living. But I've been saying the same thing since I was dead. We all fighting to fucking live when it's enough here for everybody here. And I say this, right? Because I love my people where I came from. There's a lot of people that's confused about me. Like, you know what I mean? The same rules apply that always applied, man. That's what I'm saying when I say I'm weird. As I lost my pops and I was going through shit, and everybody turned their back on me, I still say the shit with a certain ounce of my being. I don't need no fucking body. I always been a loner. I raised myself. By this point, I should be cool with it. But don't play with the kids. That shit drive me insane. Being a kid that had to raise himself and you gonna play with some fucking kids and I know how mighty I am? Okay. When it's two little girls that need me, call me, want for me, almost to the point that they beg for me. When it's a little boy that I gotta protect. See, somebody told me, man, protect all kids even if they ain't yours. People laugh when I say I talk to gods or beings that you could consider gods. You know what I mean? Since our understanding of God is so degraded. And one of them told me one day, simple shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you know when you're talking to something a little bit higher planed. When the answer is something so simple and basic and rudimentary, but you had to hear it in order for it to wake up in you. Because it wasn't like it's foreign. Really, nothing that you ever gonna hear is foreign to you. You already know it, or you already know it to be true or a lie. That's the fun part in knowledge. You relearn yourself. If you are the truth, that's all you are doing is relearning you. Excuse me. Niggas be talking about money this, money that. I got a lot of self-wealth, man. Like, nothing I do necessarily in form of action is gonna make me a lot of money. The ideas and giving of myself, that's what's gonna make me money, ultimately. Like, so as I speak to the decimal points and the one percenters, coming here soon to you, I'm getting up off my butt and I'm starting to use some of these ideas. One of them will be a banking idea, but it's not to dethrone you, those of you who would want to see change, something different, something new. When the poor man understands the economy and finances, and the rich man understands it from a rich man's point, it's going to take both and both of their mindsets in order to get the job done. So everybody has some kind of middle ground. See, if we all started a middle ground, you know, it's like we could get much higher. When you starting off below ground, you don't know how high is, and how, when too high is too much. Did I miss it? Yes, I did. But I'm gonna let this go, man. You ain't gotta listen to me. All I tell you is that not listening to me it's like not listening to me, not listening to myself. When I said let me take this 10,000, put it in the stock market where I know it's gonna exponentially grow me some wealth over everybody in my family, including people I went to high school. I mean, people I went to elementary with. Actually, high school at that point. My nigga said, you ain't gonna make no money being in video games. A video game is the highest form of media out there. See, the science and the studying of the money gained from it wasn't there yet. And then the console wars got real big, late 90s, early 2000s. Tech was the new thing. Silicon Valley was growing. Google was taking over the world. Apple was doing their thing. HD TVs. HD video gaming. You know what I mean? Just everything just boomed and boomed and boomed and boomed. So, you know, they started studying it. And numbers don't lie, except for when they lie. That might be my first grounding into finding out that nothing is finite. Everything is finite. And so there, I just gave you the truth behind it. That's what I'm talking about when I like having these talks or go on these journeys with God or whatever. You know how they say space is so vast and it's so empty? And see, this is only programming of my brain that I speak from. If that is to be true, then we look at space as if it's nothing. But without space, time can't exist. So, if it's just so empty and space is nothingness, right? Then why is it seemingly vast and infinite? But if space is just one big empty space, right? It's also finite. So infinity fits into finite in a finite manner. If you look at infinity like it's everything, then in what I said previously or prior to infinity as if it's everything, that's why Buzz Lightyear says to infinity and then beyond. Like, you come into life as a child in a new life, and it's infinity. And then when you die, maybe you go beyond. And to let a few people in, and to those like physics people out there that already picked up on what I said, if anybody watched this, man, because I really don't think the normal people in my life watch these videos, but I do believe that it's people behind the scenes, 1984 Orwell style, that look at this stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I always, once I learned Mensa existed, I always wanted to go to those places and talk with people. Like, I felt like that's where I should be. So it's not about selling my soul. It's not about selling out for money, right? And all of that, I understand, might even be some bullshit to make you scared of getting the money. But I'm not scared of getting the money. What I'm scared of is not putting myself out there to change the world. And if I do that, then the money will come. So I'm talking about parallel universes, is what I'm talking about. I've even had slight run-ins with being a conscious being in a parallel world, almost like a bizarro world for my DC universe viewers, or people from DC universe knowledge. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Nice little 30-minute talk. It's another one of my dreams, man, to one day like get some money behind me, because you really don't see nobody that ain't some kind of successful, whose name don't have some acclaim behind it. And I'm not saying I want none of that necessarily, right? But like, I'd love to get on stage and just have my own little TED Talk thing going on, where it's like theoretically, and if it's one thing I can say that comes out of the Bible that is of the truth, and that revolving circle, or revolving door for that matter, shit. So shall a man thinketh, so shall it beeth. It's us, man. Our mind power. I'm just trying to learn how to control mine so I can put something better out there. You heard?